Hi everyone, Peter Liciaga here, and normally I go live on Facebook, but for some reason or another, Facebook is just simply not allowing me to go live today. I have no idea what the issue is, but that doesn't stop us, right? Because we have different platforms like YouTube. So I'll be here sharing with you some thoughts that I have when it comes to parenting. Of course, Peter Liciaga, your Mount Laurel martial arts guy. I'm a master instructor of Donato Karate Center in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. If you want to find out about our programs, go to donatokarate.com or call us at 856-235-0414. Okay, I'm sitting in my living room right now and I have some notes from a little study I did earlier today. Now, yesterday, I had student up to me asking me to speak to their daughter and about choices they're making. Now the daughter, she's in fourth grade and she's making some bad choices that are not really useful for her and helpful, and the parents are a little upset about that. So I spoke to the parents, and typically what I'll do is I'll ask the parent what they've done so far to help their child change their behavior if the is negative behavior or even destructive behavior. I always ask the parent, what are you doing so far? What have you done so far? So I get a bit of an idea of what the conversations have been. And more often than not, it's typically just a parent telling a child to stop doing whatever they're doing. And sometimes they'll add the or else thing in it. But so yesterday I spoke to the child, and I know for me that our decisions are based on basically what we hope to accomplish. So I have a vision for myself, and based on the vision that I have for myself, I have goals that I've set, things I want to accomplish to realize that vision. And this is what we teach our students at Donato Karate. So I started chatting with the parents about this idea and telling them that your child is making choices based on how she sees herself or what she's hoping to accomplish. Now, if she has no vision, then she really doesn't have a plan of action to realize that vision. And so when it comes to choices, she really doesn't have any reason to make one choice, good choice, bad choices. No, she has no reasoning behind her choices. So when you ask someone why you do what you do, and they'll say, I don't know, really do. They don't know why. Okay, so I typically look at vision, and my goal is to help any individual, children included. What is your vision? What do you want for yourself? So as a martial arts instructor, I always use this idea of being a black belt and becoming a black belt. So I'll ask, would you like to be a black belt one day? And I asked the girl this. I asked the child this. Do you want to be a black belt one day? She said, of course, I'd love to be a black belt one day. And we started talking about what that looks like. Some of the choices someone that was a black belt would make. And so we were talking about all these positive choices that they would make, choices at school, choices at home, choices in the world. And she agreed these positive choices she would make. And then so I told her, as an exercise, I would love for you to go home. And I asked whether she loves writing or she loves drawing. She said she loves to draw. So I said, great. I said, why don't you do this? Go home and on piece of paper, just draw this little girl with a black belt on it. Can you do that? She says, yeah, I could do that. I'd love to do that. And I says, great. Actually, you could color her, use any colors you want, except the belt has to be black. And so she said, okay, cool. And then I told her, around this girl, I want you to write down all the positive things that she would be doing. Doing great grades in school, her best in school, at home, listening to her parents, all these things around. So she said, okay, I'll do that. And then after we spoke about what her assignment would be, I said, then now, once you're done, I told her, once you're done, I want you to imagine yourself being this little girl with the black belt. Can you do that for me? She says, yes. And I told her, next time you come to class, which will be in a couple of days, I would love for you to bring that with me. So she said, okay. So she got a little excited about it. Then I asked her, I said, your mom and your parents told me that you were having a little trouble in school. And you could see she got a little upset. She goes, yeah. She says, yeah. I says, can you tell me why? And I knew what the answer would be, but I wanted to ask the question anyway. And she says, no, I don't know why. I says, okay, I get that. I understand that. And I says, but you know what? We're going to help you. My job as a teacher is to help you to become black belt strong. And so we spoke about this. So she was encouraged. And then I walked her out to her parents, told her parents what we spoke about and what her little assignment's going to be. Parents were excited. They had some plan of action and there was a reason for it. And so I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, I say all that because I woke up this morning thinking, okay, what can I share more? What can I learn more about helping parents to, just be better parents? Because I cannot be at their home 100% of the time. I can't even be at their home at all. I'm at the karate school, and the child sees us 2 to 3 times a week. And of course, our class schedule, we have classes every day, and they could come any time, any day of the week, depending on the schedule, right? And of course, you want to see our schedule, go to donatokarate.com. But I cannot be at home. So we have to help parents, giving them tools, giving the children, our student tools to make the right choices. But it starts with the vision. And today, when I did more research, I started thinking things about being a parent, because I've been a parent first became a parent in 1983. And I totally failed as a parent. And that was my first chance to be a parent. Totally failed. And then my second time being a parent, I'm going to celebrate 33 years of being married now. And my wife and I, we have an 18-year-old now and a 15-year-old now. I did much better the second time around. So I've learned a bit about parenting. And plus, I've been teaching martial arts full time to students as young as 3.5 years old. And I've been teaching since 1999 full time in Mount Laurel at the same school, same community. And we're actually going to celebrate 25 years at this location in this community, Mount Laurel. Okay, we are your Mount Laurel Martial Arts School, truly. We've been here the longest, 25 years in October. So anyway, when it comes to parenting, there are a couple of notes here with my thinking this morning, some research. And the one thing that stood out for me that I saw in a new book that I'm reading now, it said this: parenting is not for your child. It's about the parent. Parenting's not about the child. It's about the parent. And what I mean by that is that we have to know who we are, and we have to be confident in how we're going to lead and direct and guide our child. So we have to really know about us. We have to really have a handle on our vision for ourselves, because our choices that we make in the course of the day is based on the vision we have for ourselves as a parent. And so parenting comes down to us, the parent. I need to know my weaknesses and my strengths, and I need to build on my strengths and be aware of my weaknesses. And a couple of notes that I have here: self-awareness. Our first line of defense has to do with awareness. And as a parent, we need to be aware of how we're feeling and what we're going through mentally and emotionally, so that as we are aware of what's going on with our child, if we are going to lead and guide and parent our child in a productive and positive way, we need to not only be aware of what's going on with our child, but we need to, more importantly, know what's going on with us, be aware of us. And so we really need to help our child through first being aware of our emotions. And if we are unaware of where we are, our states and our mental state, our emotional state, that we run the risk of not giving our child what they need. And what do our children need? Our children really need to be led. They need to be guided. They need to be directed to what? And I think one of the mistakes that we parents make, we have these expectations on our children, and these expectations are based on maybe our failures as we were growing up, because our parents had expectations of us. Like, for instance, they want us to be all honor roll students, go to the best schools, have the best job, and just be perfect, never mess up, never get injured, and always be safe. But we all know life is not like that. Dangers are in life, and that we're going to make mistakes. We're going to mess up. We're going to hope for the best. But in reality, we're going to get what we get. Not all of us are going to be A students. Some of us are going to fail. Some of us are going to fail horribly. But that does not mean you're going to fail your whole life. And I think a lot of times our parents put this pressure on us, these expectations on us as children, and we fall short. We all do. We're not perfect. We fall short. So now as adults, as parents, we do the same thing. We take what we've been taught unconsciously, sometimes consciously, but unconsciously, what we've been taught, and we parent based on that. So there's this idea of unconscious parenting. Parenting not being aware of what you're doing as a parent, which I need to stop and take a pause and hopefully stop you guys and have you guys pause as well and ask yourself, am I being a conscious parent where I am parenting with a purpose and self-aware and externally aware? Aware of myself, my emotions, my feelings, and what I'm learning and how I'm going to move forward as a parent, and aware of my child and their needs. Now, our children need to learn how to discover who they are. Because you ask a child, who are you? Many of them won't know who they are, let alone know what they're going to do in life. They may have aspirations and desires, maybe, but more often than not, they really don't know. They have things they may dream about doing, which is great. But at the end of the day, they really don't know deep down inside, what's the meaning of them, where they're going. So they're uncovering who they are. So we parents, we are also on that journey of discovering who we are. And when you were a child, young, you were discovering everything. You were going everywhere. You were so curious. Everything was new for you. And as you get older, we start losing that curiosity. And not like a child, right? Like a child has it. Our children have it. But we adults start really stifling that in our children. And we try to structure it so that children are always safe and they always do this, always do that based on our expectations. And that at times, more often than not, basically will cause our children to resent us or basically close their ears to what we have to say. So I say all that because what I've learned is that we've got to lead our children with our own actions, with our lives, with what we say. And because we are on a journey of discovery, finding out who we are as individuals, as human beings, and our importance in the world. Now, I'm going to be 58 years old, and I've only just started in the last couple of years really understanding why I went through what I went through in my life and seeing the value of what I went through in my life and seeing how now it makes me a more effective teacher and parent. And I'm discovering that now in my 57 years old, in my 50s. So our children are the same thing. They're learning and discovering themselves. So we as parents, we need to lead them through their journey of discovery. And when we tell our children they must do things this way now, and must do it this way, they must go to school, they must study this, must study that. I mean, I get all that. But more importantly, we need to help encourage our children to uncover and discover who they are. And that's the great mystery, right? Of us finding out who we are. What's our purpose? What are our gifts? What are our talents? And what's our purpose? Why are we here? How do we contribute to society, to the world, to even our own lives? What's our purpose? And every day we get up, we're on this journey. So we as parents, and this is what I do at Donato Karate Center, my thinking now is that I'm helping these students discover who they are, uncover who they are. And martial arts teaches you how to fight a good fight, how to be a warrior, because there are challenges in life. Life is tough. You can't get around that. There's going to be pain. There's going to be hurt. There's going to be sickness, illness. And then, yes, there's going to be death. So how do we navigate through life? We navigate through life by having a filter that's going to support the reality of life. Martial arts helps with that. And this is what I try to teach in a fundamental way, and I communicate that to as young as 3.5 years old, all the way up through to our mature adults, and being very, trying to be as intelligent as possible to communicate that message. And we need to do that as parents. We need to help our children uncover and discover who they are, giving them tools, guidance, and direction, but more importantly, not judging them and allowing them to discover who they are. And so create a vision for yourself to be this parent that guides and directs, helps your children, your child to discover who they are. So that, and then let's give them some tools, give them some thought to think about as they start uncovering and discovering who they are. And this is a lifelong journey. And people that I've met that are in their 70s, 80s, almost 100 years old, they're still, for the most part, figuring out who they are and where they go. And every decade, every year, every decade, you become, as you get older, that starts to expand and you start seeing more of you, and then you start figuring out, okay, how do I then fit in to society as far as bringing value to society. And I know for me, as I get older, when I was younger, I had this youthful body that was very agile and youthful because I had the young body. Now as I get older, my body's getting older, but I can still contribute. And now I'm using my mind. I'm using the knowledge that I've gained over the years. So I'm finding how I now can contribute to society. And there's this new person that I'm discovering in my life. So it's a journey. And I want to encourage everyone to remember that, to be aware of the fact you are on a journey of discovery of who you are. And then there's layers to you, and they grow and develop. There's more to you. And it's the same with our children. And we need to stop judging ourselves, stop judging our children, and just help ourselves and help our children in this journey of discovery. Okay, guys. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you guys today. And my last thought with you right now is, I wrote it right here in my pad, my journal, is that parenting brings out the best in us. It does, it really does. The compassion, the empathy, the parenting brings out the best. But unfortunately, parenting also brings out the worst in us. And I know I can testify to that. But it's in us recognizing our shortcomings as parents, as human beings, that gives us an opportunity to be humble and say, I have a lot to learn, and then us learn what we can and build on. This way we don't make the same mistakes, and if we do, we recognize it and do our best again to learn the lesson and build and become more and discover more about ourselves. Okay, guys, so with that being said, thank you so much for spending this time with me. Look forward to hearing your comments somewhere on this page. If there's a place to comment, please comment. If you want to find out about the program, martial arts program that I teach at Donato Karate Center, go to donatokarate.com. You can also call us at 856-235-0414. Other than that, guys, look forward to connecting with you. You take care. Have a blessed day. And what do we say? Happy parenting. Okay, take care.